Do you want to rank up in Rainbow Six Siege? We've come to the right place. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you one tip for each rank so that you can get out of the rank that you're in and get higher than you've ever been before. My name's Alka, and let's get straight into the video. Okay, so obviously our first rank is going to be Copper. If you're in Copper, this is purely just a lack of experience. If you've been playing the game for hundreds of hours and you're still in Copper, that is because your IQ is the same number as your room temperature, or it's because you're unwilling to learn and you're unwilling to learn from your mistakes. But 90% of the people who are stuck in Copper just haven't played the game enough, and it will come in time to where you get into Bronze. So either A, just play the game more, or B, be willing to criticize yourself and stop finding excuses every time you die. Our next rank is Bronze. Bronze is again just lack of experience, but shit teammates also don't help, and the unpredictability of bad players is also something that people struggle with, especially people with a lot of hours. My number one tip if you want to get out of Bronze is get your aim on point. You can get to Plat purely off of aim with zero game sense. I've done it almost every single season, so trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Get your aim up and start learning map callouts. You need to start learning callouts for every single map, so when you give them to your teammates, they know what you're talking about and you're able to win more rounds. Examples: do you know Harry Potter on Oregon? Do you know barrels on Theme Park? Do you know elbow on Oregon? If you don't know any of the callouts that I just said, you don't know maps enough, and you need to go in and learn the maps. You can learn the initial room numbers with your compass, and then you can go online and search out some callouts on YouTube. I'm gonna make some callout guides in the future, so be posted for that. Our third rank, and the most common rank for a player to be, is Silver. So Silver 1 especially, is the most average player's rank. So the most amount of people that play this game are Silver 1, at least on PC. Now Silver, you have a lot of brain dead teammates. People still don't know how to aim, but this is when you need to actually start learning the game. Start learning common pushes. Where do attackers commonly push from? Where should I commonly push from with my team? Start learning what operators to play for every single site and every single push for every single site on every single map. So just start getting general game sense down. If you're playing on Oregon and you're pushing top floor, you need to know that typically in ranked, people are gonna push trophy and attic. So if you have an ace, bring a maverick for attic. If you have a maverick, bring an ace for closet wall. Just be thinking about where you're commonly going to push and play operators that help your team win rounds and not help you get frags. And now we're in gold. I would say, out of all of the ranks in the game, gold is the hardest to get out of because you have a mix of very, very bad people who sit in very uncommon spots and catch you off guard because they're unpredictable, because they're bad. You can queue with Plat 1s and you can queue with Silver 4s while you're in gold. Two very different skill level people, and the learning curve between gold, Plat, and Diamond are very, very different. So gold is arguably the hardest to get out of because of the wide variety of skilled players. And 9 times out of 10, especially if you're solo queuing, you're not going to get out of gold because of shit teammates and players on the enemy team that are very, very good. If there is anywhere in this game that is elo hell, it is gold. So how do you get out? My number one tip for getting out of gold is play with a team. If you're playing with a team, you can coordinate who's getting what wall, who's pushing where, who's setting up what. You can make site setups with your team because by now you should have enough map knowledge and game sense to do so. And if you solo queue, I promise you're not going to get out of gold unless you have insane aim. This being said, the easiest way you can do this is go into the R6 Discord. You can go into a looking for team post. You can join one of the calls that say ranked, and then you can label the call that you're in like gold, NA 1.0 KD or higher, and then you have people that fit that description that join the call. Now you don't have to have comms over game, you can have them all in Discord, and you have a team that's willing to win because they're in the Discord and wanting to win just as much as you are. So that's my tip for gold, is try to play with players, do not solo queue. And now we get into Plat. The bullies of Rainbow Six Siege, the people with the highest egos for the little amount of skill that they actually have. So here's the thing about Plat. When you get into Plat and you're out of gold, the players are playing the game as they should be. They're sitting in common corners, so they start becoming predictable because you can predict what they're doing because of your game sense. In gold, you couldn't do this because you were playing with silver players and people who are bad at the game. But now, whenever you're in Plat and you get out of that Plat 3, Plat 2 area, players become predictable because you know where to look. So people get in their heads and they think they're a lot better than they are, and those are typically the teammates that you're going to be facing. Now, how do you get out of Plat and into Diamond? This is something that is pretty easy to do once you get out of Plat 3 and you're into Plat 2. So to get into that Plat 2 range where it's a lot easier to queue and you don't have a shitty teammates, again, I would just recommend playing with a team. But I'm not going to give you the same tip. Just know from that Plat 3 to Plat 2 range, you're going to want to play with a team. But my tip for getting out of Plat in general is start pre-firing. Now, I know this seems like a really weird tip, and like this one tip is going to get you out of an entire rank. I know it seems dumb, but let me explain. So pre-firing doesn't mean just spraying through random walls where people might be sitting, or spraying through random floor holes that people might be sitting on and getting kills. Pre-firing is when you're in a one-on-one situation and you're firing at the place that you think they're going to go into mid-gunfight. Now, the way that you can up your pre-firing game is through actual practice. If you look up YouTube videos, there's not a lot of pre-firing guides, but even if there are, they can't really teach you the mechanical skill behind it because it is a mechanical thing and not a game sense thing. So what you can do is get a friend and you can go into a custom game and constantly just 1v1 each other and start pre-firing the door that they're on. Once you start pre-firing, people, whenever you're in a 1v1 situation, start quick peeking where you're at, and they start pre-firing as well. But if you're just sitting there and you're holding M1 pre-firing a door, they're going to go into your bullets and you're gonna get a lot of free kills. Even if you don't know if somebody's there, you're walking into sight in a 1vx situation, whatever, and you pre-fire common angles, you'll get a lot more free kills than you realize. So one, learn really common angles. Let's say that you're walking into cash from construction on Clubhouse, and you know that that really common angle is rafters holding cash. You can just pre-fire rafters or pre-fire red stairs. Those are two very, very common angles. So once you learn where the common angles are in a site, start pre-firing all the time and think, I just went in somewhere as an attacker and I died to an angle. Is it common? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna start pre-firing that now. So learn from every single death whenever you pre-fire and start pre-firing more. And now we get into Diamond. We get in the big leagues. So Diamond, I want to say there's a cheater every 4 out of 10 games. That's pretty generous. Probably half the time there's going to be a cheater in your game. And it's going to be on your team a lot of times as well. So this is where people start complaining about cheaters whenever they can't get out of Diamond and at a champ. Don't do that. That's a really big mistake. You can always improve. As a champion player, you've gotten to champion. You know that you can get out of Diamond, so you can't blame it on cheaters because you know people have gotten to champion and you haven't. So there's a reason for that. My number one tip, if you want to get out of Diamond and into champ, is learn from your mistakes. Now, this is something that you should be doing in every single rank, but it's not as important in every single rank because you can learn a lot of other things in order to get to all of the other ranks. If you get your aim up and you don't have to learn, you can get all the way to Plat. I'm dead ass serious about that. If you have cracked aim, you can get all the way to Plat. If you have great map knowledge, you can get all the way to gold. If you have great game sense, you can get all the way to diamond. But this is where you have to start learning every single aspect of the game and polishing all of it. And then once you've done that, every single time you die, think about how you died and think, I'm never doing that again. And I promise you, you start doing this for a few months, you will become a lot better than you were a few months ago. This is my number one tip for getting out of any single rank in the game of Rainbow Six Siege or just any game in general. Learn from every single death and think about how you could avoid it and never make the same mistake twice. This even goes outside of video games. Never make the same mistake twice, ever, and you will improve, I promise you. Something that's really good is you can keep a journal down, or you can have like a channel in your Discord server of like notes that other people can add to too, and you can think, okay, I died to this common angle, cool, I'm gonna pre-fire this angle now, or I'm gonna head clear on this angle, or okay, I died to this corner, now I know I have to drone that corner every single time in a rank match. Great example, I go pushing closet to villa, and I die to somebody in the closet. Okay, never dying to that again. Write it down. And then before you play ranked, you can skim over all the notes for the map that you just did, and then you know all of the things that you've done, or you just learn inside of your head, and you will get instantly better. I know that you're looking for some secret tip and some secret angle that's gonna carry you throughout the ranks, but I promise you, if you just learn from your deaths, you will get out of diamond. And then the final rank is champion. You can't really get out of champion, but you can become the #1 champion. I haven't been there, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But my number one tip for if you do become a champion, start making content. I know that seems like a really weird tip, but once you get champion, you can't really go any higher except for actual competitive siege. And competitive siege is a completely different game than ranked, but it's a lot more fun. And if you're into siege like I am, it's very enjoyable and I recommend you do it. Making content grows an audience, it gives you a platform to speak and show your skills, and it gets you noticed. If you have a Twitter presence, if you have a YouTube presence, if you have a TikTok presence, teams will start to notice you. They'll ask for your Discord and you'll get picked up and you get to play competitive Siege now. This doesn't even go just for champion. I did this in Plat. I have diamond friends who have done this. I mean, you can make a clan in gold. Like, really, you can do all of that, but you're just going to be more credible, and you're going to be a better player for your team if you do this in champion. So that's my tip, is start growing an audience, start getting noticed, and get on a team, and you will level up in your Siege career. With that out of the way, that's pretty much it for the video, though, guys. Don't forget to sub to the channel. I stream all of these recordings that I'm doing right now for you on Twitch, so if you want to see me record one of these videos, I stutter a lot in my videos, so you get to see that. Just come hang out. I recently just got donations, which is cool, so if you want to give me money, you can do that. Like the video if you liked it. My name's Alka, and I'll see you in the next one.